Hi, my name is Sally Barnard, an artist, author, and spiritual experiencer. Welcome to Call Me Zena, a true story into the spiritual realms. Join me as I sit and discuss the journey of self-discovery and awakening with the help of my spirit guides. It's time to trust your intuition. This is your inner knowings. Through questions and points of conversation, I can help others feel empowered. With the ability to touch people's past lives, I help others connect and not feel alone. Sit with me and call in live, 888-994-4995.
Hi everybody, it's Monday. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday. So here we are back on my show, Call Me Zena, and I'm going to open the audience. I'm going to ask questions. Anybody in the audience? We have a few people here today. Would you like to ask me a question, or anyone, please call in. The number is 888-994-4995, Studio A. Please call in. If you have a burning question, just call me up and I'll give you the answer through my spirits.
Sally, we are so glad to have you back. It's been a while as we roll into 2024.
Oh my goodness.
I know I have to give you a moment to bring in your collective.
Yeah. I'm getting centered here. I don't usually have to do that. They're usually here, but I think I used a lot up on the last show.
And you haven't been here in a while, so I think they need to get honed in on you. But I want to ask, what are they seeing for 2024 globally?
I'm hearing patience. I'm getting goosebumps as I say that. We're always so, we listen to the news and we're so quick to say, I'm going to turn this off, to judge. But it's a transition. It doesn't make everything, and I think I've said this on my show before, easier, but we are definitely going through a transition. It's difficult. It's very difficult. We're in a difficult phase in this, let's say, in this planet, because it's affecting everybody on the planet. So if we can just take time now and understand what we're really doing, and hopefully we can lift vibrational energy, which I'm very into, by being positive, to raise it a little bit. And on a global, I'm saying global, if we can all just think positive thoughts, even if it's just for, and I'm hearing this, for half an hour, for an hour, for a few minutes, let's send positive thoughts out into the world. I actually haven't listened to the news for a couple of weeks because it's sad. So I'm really not up to what's going on. I believe nothing really has changed as far as the wars and everything, but let's send positive thoughts around the world. Even if it doesn't work, let's try, hopefully. As long as we're aware of what's going on, and that can change, if we believe that, I believe we can raise the vibrational energy.
And we talked about for this show, people connecting with their spirit guides. How can we do that?
Basically do what I'm doing. I'm no different to anybody else, but I learned a lot because I had someone to teach me. So hopefully I can pass that on a little bit. Talk, even if, I was listening to a program the other day on the news about somebody that they were talking, and it's not unusual. When we lose somebody, we talk to that person. We do it automatically because we're so used to them, especially a husband or a wife or a family member or a loved one, anybody we love. They don't go. We see that they've gone physically from here, but it doesn't stop you from talking to them, even if you don't even believe that they're going to be able to answer you. Just talk. Many people say, well, I talk to that person, I don't hear anything, but they'll also sometimes say that person came to them in a dream. So maybe they are hearing from them. Let's believe that we are, because I truly believe that. I've had so much validation on that. This last couple of years, have lost close people to me. And, I get sad, but I also feel that I know that they are around me. And I've had a lot of validation for that. And I lost a lot of people that were really close to me in a matter of a year and a half or 2 years. I don't stop talking to them. I don't even have to say it out loud, or even before I go to sleep. I'll think of them. It makes a difference. Do you feel that, Dawn? Yeah.
If you think of them. But everyone, we know you had a walking guide, but you've got other guides around you all the time. that guides you. Does everyone have a spirit guide that sort of is watching over them?
Everybody has a guide. Actually, I believe we all have several. We just don't know that we have. And we can go through our whole lifetime never knowing. I believe, as my viewers know now, that we go on to different lifetimes. It's when we're ready to accept that. They accept us and they try and they continue. But we also have to accept that maybe we are getting help. You hear, let's call it miracles. We hear miracles. Perhaps that's them answering us, you know. We can believe in angels, we can believe whatever we want. But if the outcome is that we are getting advice, and it doesn't matter who, it's from somewhere else, they're watching us. But we have to believe that. I mean, we can go through many lifetimes that we don't, and that's okay. We're maybe not ready. But if I can help anybody today with problems that they may have, believe that you are getting help from, I'm going to call beyond, because they're not here on our planet. I actually had someone materialize for me, but maybe that was a little unusual. But I do believe that. I truly do believe that we're getting help. What's so wrong if we ask and we talk to somebody? At least we're doing something. We may not hear the answers right away, but it's up to us to interpret the answers too. Listen.
And sometimes the voices we hear in our head, could those be our guides, just wanting us to listen? Maybe they're not just our voices, but clearly their voices
It's our guides.
coming through to us.
I'm not saying all the time, because I call it a gut feeling sometimes. I give messages, and most of the time, as you know, Margaret, too, that I've been pretty accurate, as you know, too. I don't stop to think, am I going to get an answer? I go with the first thing that comes into my mind. It's like telepathic. I get the message, I get a name, and as you can attest to too, Dawn, many times I'll get a name of someone and we relate it, because that's how they're able to talk to us. I can come out with a name that I have no idea even what I've said sometimes, but it will have a meaning behind it. And I believe we can all do that, but it's not always we're ready to do that. It's up to us. It's up to us. We get the help. It's up to us to accept that help.
And to hear it. Kenna, do you have a question? Z2?
Hello. Am I good?
You're good.
Hi, Sally.
Hi.
I know it's been a couple weeks, but I just want to know if my guides have anything for me, as it's been a long time. And then my second question is, what is your opinion on, like, time travel, I guess?
Okay,
'Cause it
let's
feels
go
like
with
I'm
one
on
and
two
then go with
different-
the other, because I actually got an answer, but now it's gone. Ask me the first question first.
Do they have any question or guidance for me?
I'm getting one. You
or-
didn't answer me the first time. I'm not necessarily going to answer you now. I'm sorry. I did have something for you. Okay, I'm going to do it again. Can you ask me a specific question if they are listening to you?
Does anything, like, prior to, like, winter break with family, like, any kind of answers do they have, kind of like surrounding with that? Because it was a roller coaster going back, but
You're on a roller coaster right now?
well, it felt like that, like just going
Okay.
there and then just dealing with
Well,
everything.
what you feel, I'm not really getting a definite answer on this, because I think I lost my opportunity there. I'm sorry. But yeah, if you feel like you're on a roller coaster, or they are, that's a feeling that you're getting, and I believe that is so. However, and I am getting this now, I'm getting more in tune with them, you can change that. You can change that, if that makes sense to you. It may be a lot of people around you, and I don't know, but this is what I'm hearing. They're giving you a lot of their problems, not necessarily yours, but their problems are becoming yours. You're getting a lot of messages. Is that accurate?
Yes. 'Cause
Okay.
even with just talking to someone earlier about family.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my answer to that, and they're telling me to tell you, you can listen, but don't take it in too much. Because you're more on the outside, if that makes sense to you. So you can try to fix a situation. It's still up to them. But there are certain members that I'm feeling of your family that are going as you said, on a roller coaster. It's a little up in the air. They're going through a few things.
Yes.
Don't let that become your problem, because you won't be able to help them that way, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it seems like just even all of my problems is like surrounded just with family, and they have been showing me over the past few weeks that it's a lot of past stuff they're trying to get over and let go.
That's their stuff. And I don't mean that in a rude way, but if you take it too personally, it's going to affect you. So you can give them advice. It's still up to the individual, or how you see it may not be how they see it. Don't get too involved with it. Listen and give advice when you feel that you can help, but don't take it in yourself, okay?
Thank you.
Hey, Sally.
Hi.
How's everything?
Everything's good. How are you?
I've been feeling well. Lately, I've just been feeling like I could save everybody. Am I, like, supposed to be a savior?
You have the answer to that. I don't know. You actually, on the positive side, you do have the ability to help people, because you have a lot of intuition, and you hear, and I know that, and you know that from your guide too. Mm-hmm. Again, I'm going to give you the same advice. You can help people. You can't save everybody, and it's not your duty to do that. But you can help and offer advice. Same type of answer. Just don't take it in yourself, because if you do that, you're not going to be able to help them, if that makes sense.
Exactly.
But you do have the answers to a lot of things, but you don't have the answers to everything, okay? Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am. And my birthday's coming up soon. What does my guides have to say for me?
Happy birthday, they're saying. Okay. Okay. This is a new year, a new start. You'll see a lot of difference in the beginning of the year of things that you've been working on are going to come around. Not right in the beginning, it's your new year. I mean, it is a new year, but this is your new year of your birth date. So the first month or two, you'll see things going actually the way that you want them, but don't jump ahead. Let it all take time to, I'm hearing fester actually, let it take time to fester. It's going to work out. You may not always think that it is, but think about where you really want to go right now in your life, and continue with that, because you are on the right track as long as you do listen. You hear a lot. I know you do.
Yes, ma'am.
So follow your intuition. It will be okay. If you feel that it isn't going to be okay, then take a different route for that time. It may come back that situation that you had might be all right. But when you feel it's not, you're probably right.
Okay. Thank you, Sally.
Okay, anybody else?
Okay, my second question. What is your opinion on like time travel, kind of, in a sense?
Well, that's
like, it's like the stuff that I kind of knew.
I love that, by the way. I love anything like that. I love the dimensions. I love time travel. I love UFOs. So but that's a whole subject really for another show. I believe that we can time travel. I mean, I astral projected all over the place. I wasn't just in this time, so it's very dear to me. If you have a specific question on that, let's see if we can answer it.
I mean, it's not really a specific question. I just like see that, like, especially when I'm dreaming. Like, I don't know if I guess I am.
Well, I do believe that we can go back and forward. There are, without going into details on that, it's a very strong belief that I do have. We're here right now, and I believe, and again, it would be another show, and maybe we'll do it as a guest on my show. Everything is happening all at once, so to speak. So whatever happens, there is really no time. So it makes sense that we can go back into the past and into the future. Again, this would be another show, and we can maybe make a list of some of the questions. It's easier for me to answer it. But so what we're doing now, there are other things going on. Time doesn't change. We're here, always in the now. It took me a long time to understand that. And I don't fully understand it today, but I know that that's what's, in my mind anyway, that's what's going on. Yeah. So obviously, in my opinion, we can go forward and we can go back.
Yeah, it just feels like the time is going like super fast.
Sorry?
The time is going by super fast to me. Like
Yes, time is. And
Yeah.
if you talk to most people, I think they'll say, where did that year go? We've always said that, but it seems time is speeding up. I'm certain of that. Do I understand the ins and outs of that? No, not necessarily, but I do believe it's speeding up.
yeah.
Thank you for that question, and maybe we'll do a show on that.
On time travel?
Yes, so when you ask me on a few day before my show, we're going to put time travel
You
in a
got
couple
it.
of weeks. Okay, Dawn.
The
Thank
people,
you.
people actually, they know when they travel, some of them.
Yeah, they do. I mean, I was astral projecting, which actually went into my past and into my future. I didn't understand at the time until I was told exactly through someone that understood this, what was happening to me. I believe we all can do this. I believe we all do this, actually, but we don't know that we're doing it. We don't understand it. Again, I've always said I'm not different to anybody else, but I've made it a point in the latter part of my life now to understand this more and to help people understand it. I don't have all the answers by any means, but I do have help from my guides because I'm aware that they're talking to me. So I follow on with the messages that I'm getting from them.
Well, let me ask, what do my guides have to tell you for me today?
Okay. Again, follow your intuition and your gut, Dawn. Don't ever diversify from that because you also understand a lot. And you're also, if you don't mind me saying, you are psychic, very psychic. We have a connection here. They're not going to lead you wrong, even if it's something in your mind that you feel that you don't particularly want to do. But if you know how we can tell when we say no to a situation, we say, no, I don't want anything to do with that. But the next day or the next week, that same situation will appear again. Think about that, because I think that's happening to you. Something you've said no to a few times, but it keeps appearing. It could be in a different scenario, but it's like karma. It'll keep coming till you get it. That's happening to you right now. You're very intuitive at the moment, very. Follow what you're feeling. Even if you feel that, no, this isn't the right time, if it keeps appearing, let's go with it. All right, say no the first time if you want, but be aware that it's going to show itself again to you, if that makes sense, because I think that's what's happening to you right now.
It's funny,
Follow.
I learned never say never, because when you say never, that's what you get.
Exactly, and that's very, very good that you said that, because don't say that, because never is never, so it's not going to appear again. But if you say, I am open to this, show me something else, or bring someone into my life that I maybe continue to give, that's how you might get the message. You can say no to something, the following day something might appear that has the same outcome to what you're thinking the no is. But look at that again, because it's showing itself to you. It will show it, because you are open. It will show whatever the situation is many times to you, Dawn, and that's very important. It's up to you, but I'm going to tell you, they're saying to me, it's very important for you to understand that because you have the ability to do it.
And what do you see with business for this year?
Again, it's different scenarios. Something in the business between both of you actually is appearing again. That I'm getting this too, that you and both Freddie turned and said no. It could have been a year, I don't know, but it's something from the past is now reappearing on the surface again. It could be people, it could be a scenario, a situation that you said no to. It's not that long ago in the past. It's going to appear again, or has maybe appeared, or someone has talked about it. I believe, and as I said to Freddie, but he's not here right now, that that same scenario is he? I don't think so. Is going to show itself again. Don't be so quick to say no. Remember what I'm saying, because it's not me, it's my guides telling you this. Talk about it. You can even say, didn't Sally say something about that? And think about it, because I think it's very important right now. There is something is happening in the next few months. It's going to be, so to speak, put you right back on the map. That's what they're telling me. I'm getting goosebumps when I said that, okay? And just know that I said that to you. I don't know, or maybe they don't want to necessarily tell me right now, but there is something that's being presented to you. This is more before it's coming back again into your now, which is again what we were talking about. It's all happening at the same time. But the timing now, timing has a lot to do with this. The timing is right for that scenario. You'll know what it is. Call me. If I'm not here, just call me and say, do you think it was that? We can go further with that. Don't ignore it. It's very important. And tell Freddie that too.
Okay.
Okay?
Hey, Sally, for the guides around my family, what do I do for my brother?
What do you do for your mother?
My brother.
Your brother?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, he has his own guides. Is he aware of that?
Yes.
So continue telling him, even ask him what he's thinking, because that's coming from his guides, okay? He needs your help with this, even if it's just the understanding that he's getting advice. It's important that you help him, actually, now. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
So please do so the best that you can, because you also, I don't believe anybody in this room, it's, you know, nothing is coincidental. We are more in tune right now in this room with everyone that's in here, and that's including you, Margaret, over there too. Okay? So they're all around, and they're asking me to tell you this. You have your guides. We actually have a built-in a Google that just, you know, think in your mind, and you will get the answers. Go with your first. Don't start questioning it. You wouldn't question Google if you asked it a question, right? And tell me to tell you that. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
1-800-GOOGLE Avraham. He is very intuitive.
Yes, he's very intuitive. Everybody, I mean, there's not a lot of people in here right now, but we are all in here for a reason right now.
And what
Freddie's
do you see?
not here. Does that tell us?
What do you see for my daughter?
She's being a little obstinate right now. Okay. You're here to help her, Dawn. She may not always accept your help, but she also knows that you are helping her, okay? She's being like, oh, you always say that. I don't want to do that. But continue with the advice. I feel her saying that. So she's getting help, but she's up against like, oh, leave me alone with that. But she's asking you the questions, right? So continue to give her, it's still up to her, and I always will tell people that, but continue to give her the advice. She may not listen at that time, but she is listening, and they're helping her. But tell her, stop being so damn obstinate about this, okay? That's important. You can tell her I said that. Stop being obstinate.
Then she's going to be like, Mom.
Doesn't matter.
But yes.
But you need to tell her. Just say, you asked me a question, here's the answer, and you're getting it from somewhere else. Tell her I'm giving you that, which I am. Okay?
It's true.
She could call me. I don't know if she will, but she can.
And what do you see happening with Call Me Zena for this year?
I see that it's going to take a different turn now. I feel that I'm getting a lot of people, not necessarily even from the States now, that are listening to me. I think we're going to expand this a little bit more, Dawn. Now is the time. I've been doing this for over 1.5 years now. The audience, I love my audience today, and thank you all, whoever is out there, and thank you guys who are sharing. I notice that a lot. I don't know if you see that. We get a lot, not too many viewers right now, but we get viewers after the show, and they're sharing. That sharing is going to be very important because they're telling people, it's word of mouth, and they're telling people. So I see that we're going more into where we want to be with the show right now.
You have a couple comments, so let me see where they are. Tracy Latome says, what do you see for Tracy's guides?
Hi, Tracy, and I know that you have been listening to me, and I'm very aware of that. Your guides are working overtime with you. Does that make sense to you? Okay, you're also being a little bit, not obstinate, you are listening, but they are working overtime. So I see that whatever you're doing, your endeavor that you're doing is going to be successful. Follow your gut, which I think I've told you before. Follow your intuition. They're working with you. Not one, you have about 3 people right now on the other side. I call it the other side, actually.
She's sending you a heart. She says, I am so lucky everything works out for me, and do you know what I want, and do you know where it is?
Thank you, and that's touched my heart. I want to thank you that. You know, I'm not without feeling, and I really, really appreciate that. Continue to tune in, call me, come to the studio if you can. There is a connection here with you.
She says, very nice, thank you.
Thank you too.
So she talks to her guides every day.
That's perfect, and that's what I wanted to do, because she is talking to her guides. They're telling me to tell her that. They are listening. How we get the answers, we all sometimes interpret it in different ways. I always say, with your gut. Now, our gut, it could be a message, it could be something we have an impulse to do. You have the answers to that, Tracy. They are with you. They're absolutely with you, okay? They know that you're aware of them, and that's what's important.
Do you think a positive attitude changes circumstances?
101%, absolutely, because it's the same if you're with people here, let's say on our dimension on Earth, and they're all down, it brings, and I try to be up, but if I find that people are just, well, yes, we all have problems, but it's a dominoes effect. We all start having problems that I may not have had a minute ago, and suddenly I'm taking on all the problems. So it's important to raise above that, to come out of that and say, okay, this is happening now, but is it going to happen in another few minutes? No, let's change it. We can do that. Absolutely, we can do that.
Oh, I guess I am here, yeah.
You're it.
Hi, Sally.
Hi.
How's it going?
Oh, everything's good. How's it going with you, Josh?
Pretty good. How do people settle their minds down from thinking too much?
Well, I'm going to say there is a quick answer to that, and I'm not great at doing this. Meditation. Now, I paint, so when I get into, I've gone back to my paintings, and they are changing. It quietens my mind, and when it could be anything. I paint. We could do gardening. We could just whatever we need to do. Take time out for a minute, and just do whatever you want to do that makes you feel good. It could be taking a shower, anything you want. But take time out from your mind going all over the place. And then you have time to listen to yourself, actually. And you'll be surprised how many messages what we get.
Okay, then how do you know what messages to listen to and which ones to not?
Well, if you ask the question, when you're taking time out, and I don't even have to ask the question. If you say you have something on your mind and you want to figure out how to do that, start thinking about that. What would I do to correct this situation? It could be anything, whatever it is. And as you do that, slowly, little by little, and Aldo used to tell me this too, he used to say little by little, your mind will settle down. And in between the chaos, you will get answers. When you get that answers, you'll suddenly say to yourself, you know what, that does make sense, what I just thought about. Not you necessarily thinking, it's a message. That makes sense to me. Why didn't I think of that before? Very often we say that. Timing is important. The timing is, it's important to take time out from everything that's going on. It could be anything. It could be just lay down for half an hour. Don't necessarily, I do meditate, but I'm not aware of it. I still get, as I paint, I get a lot of answers. It could be anything. I could be doing my hair in the bathroom. I'll get the answers, as long as I'm taking time out.
So would meditation not just be, sitting down in like a lotus position, doing the ohms and all that? It's just meditation is what keeps you at peace, right?
Well, that's my take on it. I mean, you see, I'm in a trance right now, but people say, but you don't do all the things that people do in a trance. I'm aware of my talking. I don't remember what I'm saying, so that tells me that I am in a trance. I don't go through, some people may need that, and I'm not knocking that at all. I don't have to do that. I just click in for some reason. So we all have different ways. I'm meditating, but I don't say now I need to meditate. Maybe I've started painting again, so I'll get a paintbrush, and my art will show me that I've been meditating, because people say to me, what happened to you? How are you able to do that? So we all have different ways, but the most important is to take time out from this busy world. Write. You can write something. Just write what's on your mind. You'll start writing, because after all, a lot of what we do is imagination, actually, and I've thought about this. We imagine. Why do we imagine? It's something that we're thinking about. Where is imagination coming from? This is a very interesting question. I'd also like to do a show on that too, because I don't know what imagination is. It's our thoughts. But we imagine sometimes something, and then it will materialize. Not always. It could happen a month from now. But why do we get questions like this? What makes that happen? start questioning that, which I am actually, and you get answers.
Okay, sweet. And then I guess just, is there any messages that I should be looking for? Any signs or anything? Or
Are your parents are still alive, George?
yeah.
Yeah. I think that you need to, this is not to scare you because there's nothing wrong, but I think you need to, and I know you're older, you're not a teenager, but I think you need to listen a little bit to your dad. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Sure.
Okay, but that's what I'm getting. So
Okay.
don't question it. He's older and wiser, okay? So that's the message I'm getting. I have no idea what that's about, but I think you know, okay?
Okay. Thank you. Thank
okay.
you.
Yeah, okay.
Before Sally goes to commercial break, she is also available for private readings, not here at the studio, but they can contact you at callmezena1111@gmail.com, or you can always call the studio even today.
Actually, the Call Me Zena is not, I think it's Sally Barnard at AOL. It's going to
We're
be better.
changing it?
Yeah, because it's not coming through for some reason. Sally Barnard at AOL.com.
All right, Sally Barnard at AOL.com, or call us here at the studio
that's
at
probably better.
888-994-4 and 995. More to come. We'll be right back.
Yeah, the Call Me Zena.
This world, this life, this illusion. What is going on, we ask? What is happening? Why not take time and see what is happening? This world as we know it, it seems so real and yet so far away from where we've come. Corruption, greed, anger, power, revenge. Please wake up. We can change what is around us. How, we may ask? Learn to go back to where we were. Then we will have the clues. Then we can change and go forward. Please take the time. Do not fall into the game which we have put upon ourselves. We can change. We can make a difference. We have the power, each and every one of us. Go in peace. Go with love. Go as one. Zena.
A true story, Call Me Zena is the telling of Sally Barnard. Born in London, England at the end of the Second World War, she came to the U.S. in 1979. A mother of two and grandmother of four, she settled in Florida and worked in real estate. While going through a difficult time in her life, she was admitted into a hospital overnight in December of 2005. While settling back into her life, she began having vivid dreams and documenting them. By the third dream, a lady gave her a message to draw. With no artistic background or interest in art or history, Sally listened to her dreams and grabbed paper and crayons. Today, she has over 150 pieces of inspiring art and poetry. This book follows her journey and interpretations of these messages. She describes in detail how she's able to astral project and who she has met along her travels, including her spirit guides. This book will show you how anything is possible with an open mind. These events have changed Sally's life's direction, and this book will show you how to change yours. Purchase Call Me Zena on Amazon today.
You have been watching Call Me Zena with your host, Sally Barnard. As an artist, author, and spiritual experiencer, know that you could always seek me out for resources. Visit artbysallybarnard.com today. Now, back to the show.
Hi, we're back. After a
Tracy.
short break.
Tracy says, I love it. Thank you.
You're more than welcome. Thank you, Tracy.
And cousin Linda's watching as well.
Hi, Linda. How's it going?
You know, we talked about earlier today, different circumstances and different parts of your changes in your life are what we look for, different things. Do you think the older we get, the more in tune we get with those voices, we can understand them a little bit more?
I think we always have them, Dawn, even from birth, because actually sometimes see children, they have imaginary friends. I believe those imaginary friends are voices that they're hearing. I truly believe that. Because my granddaughter, Sydney, and she looks at me like I'm crazy now, she used to always walk around with her imaginary friend when she would come visit me. But we all get them, but as we get older, we're more questioning where it's coming from. So I believe children, especially young children, are still in contact with the other side. They just can't express it. So it depends. It depends where your journey is in this particular lifetime. I'm sure I've had, which I knew from Aldo, I've had a few previous lives, not from the 15th century, when I'm sure people know a little bit that I was there at that time, where I was in tune with this. But from there to now, I actually didn't do this. It was very dormant, but it never left me. So we all have certain times in our lives, let's say, that we come in, that we've decided to remember. We don't remember that we say that. This was my time to remember. Again, I'm going to say I'm not different from anybody. I call it like we wake up. I've started to wake up in this lifetime again. I've had a lot of this information, but about 5 or 6 lifetimes from now. So we all, if we want to start thinking about it, don't think you're crazy when you start to think about that. Question that. I truly believe that we've all had many lives, especially now in this particular lifetime. A lot of people on this planet today, especially the children coming in today, are coming in for a purpose. And that purpose is, I'm getting goosebumps, to save our planet. So children coming in are actually old souls. We need to try. They are aware of this, but they don't know that until someone opens their mind. So if your child today, and they call them many things, indigo, or whatever they want to call them, are aware of it, but they also need a push. Do you remember this? Don't question some of the things that they're talking to you about. This is really important because we need that help, so to speak, from these children today. And hopefully with me, with my message, listen to the children, listen to other people too. We are beginning to wake up.
That happened to me when I was a little girl. My mother took me to a psychic fair, and they told me, I was probably like 10 years old, that I really was only here I was borrowed by this planet and my parents. They really weren't my parents, that I was sent from another planet, that I was a star child or a star child. And no one really knew what that meant. So imagine telling a child that, and it was traumatic.
But you have to do it, and I truly, you
until
really
now
should be
I look
sitting
back,
on this chair, Dawn.
Until now I look back and say they were right. It was just the way they delivered the information.
Because they're not equipped necessarily to even understand what you're talking about. So that's why it's so important. The parents may not necessarily know, but listen to your child. I believe that they were 100% accurate with that information for you. And you know my belief with you. So, but you because nobody validated that, it was harder to go forward with it. But today you're older and you understand that and what we're doing right here, right now. So you were right, absolutely right. I tell Steve that. I say, we have a connection. And I know that. So, it's up to us. It's up to us to do the work, though. Even though we've come in, we don't remember what we've done, what we've said that we want to do. But as you begin to open up to it, and you know this too, more and more doors will open for you because you're aware that there's more going on in this world. Many people that are closed-minded, and that's all right. It's just not their time. I get frustrated a little bit, but I can't make someone believe something they don't want to believe. I know that today. So, yes.
When souls reconnect from a prior life, and seems they all reconnect here.
They do. We don't always come in with everybody from different lives. So they're here actually as our guides, which brings us back to our guides. So the ones that haven't come in that we're connected with in maybe several different lifetimes are still here with us. They're just not physically on this planet, but they're helping us. Before you come in, I'm going to say, and I make a disclaimer, this is just my point of view, but I've heard other people, hadn't heard other people say that, but they say the same as what I'm saying, so that's validation. We make contracts with people, different contracts. So we figure out our life. It doesn't always run exactly how we have what we plan, but they're here to help us from the other side to put us, if they think we want to be more on track. So they help us by putting things there that we see. We could say obstacles. Obstacles actually help us sometimes.
Louise Gomez writes in, she says, yes, we do reconnect. So true.
Absolutely. Whether it's here or whether it's on the other side, they will. It's up to us, though, to listen. We will definitely reconnect with people here. They'll come into your life. You get an instant feeling. I'm getting goosebumps. I'm saying that because I had that when I came in here. You know that person. You may not know that you knew them, but you do. And you have a connection. It's the same as on the flip side of that. You can take an instant dislike to somebody. That's okay, because we all have likes and dislikes. That means you may have had a problem with that person in another life. There's no reason to say you dislike them, but it's genuine. Sometimes it's real.
It's kind of just getting in touch with your soul, your gut instinct.
Yeah. Hopefully it's mostly the negative people that we reconnect with, but we're here to learn lessons too, and they teach us lessons too. It's hard to understand that, but sometimes when they're teaching us something and someone you don't like keeps reappearing, or the same situation, it's a lesson we're meant to learn.
Louise, it's funny she says this. She says, I feel Lynn is smiling down on us.
Oh my God, what did I say? I said it to you. Louise is there, right? I said, Louise, Lynn is here right now, and you call in. I'm getting goosebumps. I said, he's sitting there. Is she answering to that? I wish she'd call in.
Let's see. Louise, if you want to call in, it's 888-994-4995. She's been writing in the whole time.
I said that to you when the show opened. I said, Lynn is sitting here. Louise is sitting here right now with us on that chair.
And she says yes.
Absolutely. And it's not, I mean, I could be saying this, but I had actually voiced that, right?
She says, I feel him. I know, and that's another soul connection. Like when you came in here, there were so many connections.
Yes, definitely. I'm getting goosebumps.
Do you think there's a reason when souls reconnect, positive, I guess negative also to resolve issues, but positively, there's a greater calling or there's a greater purpose that we need to figure out?
Definitely. It's the same with if you're going to do a business opportunity and you can't be bothered to talk about it, but it will keep coming back to you. That's what they do. They're saying, they're connecting with us to give. And again, as I was saying, we don't always listen, but it will reoccur. They're saying, don't neglect this. It's also up to us to follow this journey. We all get this. I'm not saying everybody what they call is psychic, but we all are actually, but in different degrees of being psychic, if that makes sense. I can't believe that Lynn is sitting here and I just said that. I've never said that before, right? And Louise is calling in.
And she says,
Beautiful.
I feel him.
Yeah, definitely, Louise. He's sitting here right now. His actual message, and I don't know if Gino's listening, and I said this earlier, he's going, get on to Gino, finish the book.
Do you ever wonder why? I know ours is not to wonder why. She says, please give me the phone number again. All right, Louise, it's 888-994-4995, Studio A.
She's got to call in.
I think she's going to call in.
Beautiful.
I'm going to put in 888-994-4995.
I'm here ready to talk to you, Louise. That's amazing.
Crazy, right?
Yes, that's a validation. We have it. But you see, we listen to that. I know that I was talking about Lynn 20 minutes ago, right? And I'd not said that prior to this.
So we know these things, and we know you and I are here together for a reason. But then the physical world happens, and people get sick, and you got to pay bills, and all those other physical life situations. How do we rise above that and truly find the reason we were put back together? Either you or me or other people in general.
Well, life gets in the way. Absolutely it does. But Aldo used to say things to me, and I wrote prose about it too. If you think of it this way, this is a game we're playing. I used to write that this was illusion, and I learned more about that. So what I was writing was beginning to make more sense. But again, that's another show. But we're playing a game. After all, Shakespeare said we're merely players, right, on a stage. So we are the director of our own play. So if things are going wrong, yes, we're going to get caught up in it, but we still can, even if we don't believe it, change that. It may not happen instantly. Just know you're directing your own play. I think Louise has called in.
Phone call.
Louise, are you there? Hi, Louise.
Do we have to unmute
Louise,
that?
where did you go?
We're going to bring her through. So we get her. It's all a game that we're playing.
We're playing a game, and it's up to us. We are the directors of our own play. So if we want things to go right, that's by being positive. We think with positivity. Yes.
Say hi, Louise.
Hi, Louise. Hi, Louise. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy that you called in. Hi. I mean, you heard what I was saying. This is incredible. I mean, I sit here every week. But today, just to let our viewers know, Lynn was sitting on our show many times, right? And he was writing my book. And I said to Dawn, before you called in, Lynn is here. I feel his presence. How often have you ever called in? And of course, you were so connected.
it's so incredible because on Facebook and listening to you. Oh my God, I just felt Lynn right there next to you. And
Absolutely.
I have to
Oh.
call and let you know what you said. We travel in soul tribes.
Absolutely,
and, you
Louise.
know,
This was incredible. I think Freddie's just coming into the room now. Louise is calling up. And I said that I believe that Lynn is sitting on this chair. She calls in, not knowing I said that, to say that Lynn is available. This is amazing, Louise. You know, just for our viewers to know this, that this is how it works. We got this validation. It's incredible. Thank you so much for calling in. How are you doing? You good?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much.
Good.
And I totally agree with everything you're saying.
Thank you.
We're all in this, Lynn used to call it like a cadre of souls, our soul family.
Thank you so
And
much.
we're all here to learn from each other. Yes.
Absolutely, and
Thank
that
you
was
so much.
complete validation. We had that validation, and hopefully the viewers see that now. I didn't express on the show that Lynn was here, but I had to everyone in the studio, and here you call in. Thank you so much. Don't be a stranger. Come to my show one day.
I will. Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Love
calling
you.
in. Bye, Louise.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Well, there we go. It's how we are going to end. I think we're ending the show right now. Oh, I thought
I got a bit of news.
What is your news, Freddie?
So I just had a meeting with a gentleman. I don't have all the details of what's going on, but he says to me that he's very spiritual. And Ada brought him here. And he sat in here and he says, I don't know what's going on, but he's coming back Monday with another gentleman. They want to sponsor a segment or a podcast or something. And I told him about your show, and he has to run to the airport now because he's got to go to Vegas. But he says there's definitely something here. And he was feeling this coming from here. I've never met this gentleman before. But he has a very interesting product that we're going to learn about next Monday.
I think this is part of my message, okay? But since I was the person that was giving you the message, I think it also may have involved me. Because as you're telling me this story now, and I don't know the whole scenario, but I'm getting goosebumps. Because nothing is, and what we've been saying too, is coincidental. I don't know who you were with. I had no opportunity of seeing him. But we were just talking about that. The connection is here. As long as you keep that vibrational energy, this has something to do with the message that I have for you. Not the third one, that's different. But this is a different one that is after the 5 that you had. And I said you will know, this is something to do with it. But I believe that, I wouldn't say me because I didn't know that, but now I see that I'm involved too.
Well, I know that he had to run to the airport, so I sort of told him goodbye and everything else. Otherwise, I would have brought him in here. But
That's
the
okay.
funny thing about this whole scenario is that I found out about this guy today. I got a phone call this morning about bringing him in, that he wants to come in. He wants to see what's going on. It's like a calling to him. And when he sat on the couch here waiting like 5 minutes for me to come out and do the meeting, he says there's something here. There's something going on with his life, and he has to be here. So he'll be back.
Did he
Monday.
listen to any part of this show right
He
now?
did not. We were talking
Tell
about...
him to listen. The show today
He
was
didn't need to. He said to me, he stood over by the statue in the lobby. He says that he is one of the most spiritual people that I'll ever meet. And I says, well, you don't know my gang. He says, oh, but I do. I'll be back. I don't know what that means, but here he is. He'll be back Monday. Are you going to be here
I'll
Monday?
be here next Monday, yeah. Tell him.
I figure he's going to be on the cafe show.
There's a connection because we were actually talking about that, how we reconnect. And definitely, I believe we all reconnect in this cafe anyway. But that was an example of that too. It was an example of Louise calling when I had said that Lynn was sitting here. It's been a long time now and we've not brought that up.
Well,
It's been a long time since Sally's been here, and we were talking about soul connections and why we need her vibrational energy. She was telling me why we need her here to raise the vibration. Remember you always told me about 3?
Yes.
You're 3.
Yes. And it's really important because this is like a meeting. We know I've said this before. We're not just suddenly saying this. This is like a meeting place. But if we lose and lower that vibrational energy, which we don't, because when we get together, it'll be raised. I love your shows. I mean, it's nothing to do with my show, but I feel that, you know, I have some connection when you've got your shows. We need to raise that vibrational energy, and the right people appear in here, Freddie. They definitely do.
I agree. I agree. But you know, it's rewarding to see that somebody who has not, and he's heard about the cafe for years. He's never, and he knows people that we've had on the show.
When is he coming back? Next Monday?
He'll
If
be
he
here
should
Monday,
come before,
11:30.
call me, because I would like to come in, because I believe, but I think it'll be Monday.
Look at her. She's like-
I mean, I
like
wouldn't
someone
interfere with what
wound
you're
her up.
talking, you know. Yeah, because I feel it.
He'll be here. They will be here Monday, 11:30.
I feel it. I feel it.
And I also had Johnny T that showed up today, who they thought he had cancer. Ends up that he does not have cancer, but he does have traces of something that killed his father, and they're working on getting that out. So modern technology has developed, and Johnny T came in here. He says, "Wow, this place feels different." Now Johnny's been here before. It's not like he's never been here before.
Well, you know, and again, I often say that anybody can do what I'm doing, what we're doing, but I'm aware of it. You know, I'm very aware with what we're doing in here today. I know, and it's not to say, oh, I'm so great that I'm pulling in the right people, but because I'm putting out that energy, as you are too, it's not just me, we're putting that out, you will bring in these people, definitely, definitely. I think, again, and I'm going to say about the three of us here right now, the connection, you know, they say prayer works when more people pray. It's the same with vibrational energy. If you all believe that, it gets a little stronger. They need to hear our messages too from another place, but they feel that just like we feel they're here. It's the same thing. It gets stronger. Does that make sense?
It does. But you know, the interesting aspect of it, I feel that the new year has brought a new level, a new wave of energy. I think that if it's used correctly, magical things can happen. And today has been one of those days because we had Johnny Melnick here as well. We had Sam here, who's opening up a new office, that young girl. Huh?
And I got such a positive message
Rob?
from John.
Rob who?
Evan? Baxton's uncle?
Oh, forget about it. That guy blew it away. Rob
It's
Evans.
amazing how we all reconnect. I don't know Johnny that well,
Melnick.
but he so wants to do something, you know, with playing a piano on my show. And he actually apologized that he's taking a long time. He said, but I will do that. I feel so comfortable because his vibrational energy lifts me up, lifts everybody in the cafe. And I'm happy that he wants to do it on my show, as he's happy he wants to do it on my, he performing on my show. Where does that come from? It comes from somewhere.
You
that
tell
we're on-
me.
It comes, no, well, I'm questioning that to everybody. It comes,
Question up there. Find out.
well,
up
I
there.
actually am asking them, okay. But it comes from somewhere else. It's our intuition, it's our gut. And that's the important message here. Reconnecting with this. Why did Louise, who was a great friend of Lynn's, have this strong urge to call into the show today? Because
Do you know that Lynn, when we first met Lynn, many, many years ago, up at the Heart of Del Rey, he brought in a whole different set of vibrational energy when he first started. And then he stayed with us, and then he went away for a little bit, then he came back. Ever since Lynn has been here, tons of things have come forward, tons, including Frank and all that whole group of guys, right?
yeah, but I feel a connection with Frank too, because a lot of his belief is very similar to mine. Why would I come in here one day and somebody, because a lot of people think what I think is very way out, and that's fine. They're entitled to feel that way too. But here is someone that has, for me, the validation of the same things that I believe sitting here in the studio with me. I didn't know that, first of all, but the more I got to know him, he's talking about things that I used to talk to Aldo with for hours. How does that happen?
And all of a sudden, here you are discussing it with other people's lives.
That's right.
And all around them. Well, maybe that's your calling.
So, yeah, no, I'm certain today, you know, that definitely is. I wouldn't give this up at all. But we get validations along the way, and we've had a lot today. Very, very good validations.
Very rewarding day today.
Very. I couldn't remember the word. Rewarding.
See, you got all grumpy.
But this is good. This is good. We're having a good show today. It's
Having a
been lot of
fantastic
fun.
show today.
Yeah. And I think Margaret is somewhere over there who has been very,
I'm
very
right
quiet.
here.
Margaret, why are you so
I-
quiet, Margaret?
Why am I so? Because I'm amazed.
Why are you
That's all I
amazed?
can say. I've known Sally for so long, and every time she comes out with something, I think, oh my goodness, you know?
Well, there's nothing. Sally's painting now. Wait till those messages come.
Yeah,
She
well, I
lights up.
see those. I mean, I've seen a lot of her paintings over the years too, and it's just, I'm just happy that she's conveying what she is going through. You know, sharing what she's going through.
See that? You're sharing.
Thank you, Margaret.
It's about time. What took
She
you so
always
long?
has something positive to say about me.
Now, I'm also working on your sizzle.
My
I-
sizzle.
yes,
What is my sizzle?
I am personally,
trailer.
I'm going to do the
Oh,
trailer. I'm
okay.
going to do it. I told Dawn today that I'm getting the pieces because I started working on the opening of it. And sometimes people don't understand what it is that I want. We came close, but there's some other things. But I'm really happy with the open. A couple of
Great.
things I have to tweak on this thing. But I am going to also sit down with you because there's a couple of pieces that I'm going to add to this thing and things that you talked about.
Okay,
So-
because I think it's important that we do this, we do it now.
Yes.
And we take it, I myself am taking it seriously, but I have to take it a little more seriously because there's a lot of things going on in the world today and we all need hope. And hopefully my message, especially being here, is to raise people's consciousness. And I think that's going to help.
Well,
us.
let me tell you one of the things, the challenges about doing the right sizzle. Number one, music has to be right.
The music?
The music
Well, we
that
had someone,
accompanies it. But now I have musicians and music and singers. They're coming by the bountiful, and then the original music is what I need. Johnny Melnick only deals with original music. It's
came
like
to-
you ask and it comes.
yes, he came up to me. He said, I'm still working on this. It may take me a little while. I actually said to him today, it's fine. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here every Monday. I wasn't even sure what he was talking about. But whatever he's working
Well, there's a
on
lot
is-
of ingredients that goes into making this cake,
Right.
including Sam. She has a calling on this thing because I want to understand the psychology behind what it is that I'm trying to get from your words to the public.
Right.
So there's a whole mixture of things that are going on right now. And you'll see it, and it's going to give you more goosebumps.
And I feel that because I think as long as we work together, because you feel that connection, it's not something we're imagining. And you put your mind, a meeting of the minds is coming to me, and that's what they're saying. It's important to keep on track with this. Life, and we were talking about this a little earlier, I know you weren't in the room, gets in the way. But again, it's a form of when you start to meditate, however you feel you want to meditate, the answers are all there. I write in my prose about that. Now is the time. It's time for me to wake up to do a little bit more. I know that too, and I'm saying this on the show. I have my show, but I definitely need to do more. I take it seriously, but if not now, when, right?
Amen.
You're the locksmith to life. You unlock the doors. Everybody has the ability of doing it.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
sometimes you need somebody to unlock a door. There's an old saying that I learned over the weekend that says, one door has to close for another one to open.
And that's exactly what, no, I didn't use
I
those
never heard
words.
of that
Really?
It's an
until
old
this
saying.
weekend.
But
One door closes, another one
another
opens. but
one
not
will
one-
open, yes.
Not one close. One has to close for another one to open. I never heard of that.
Yeah, it's an
It's-
old saying.
Is it? It's fantastic, and it's funny because I look at the different things in my life, and there are locksmiths or open doors so that people can now see their ability and what they can do.
And it's important for the ones that have I'm going to say chosen, because we are chosen to do this. We don't get a lot of people. We choose ourselves. It's not like, oh, everybody says Sally needs to do this, because it's not about ego. But I chose to do this, and it's up to me and my responsibility to pass my message on. We were saying that. We all have the ability to do this. I have chosen this time, as many, many people have, to spread this word. For the ones that are meant to hear it, they will hear it. It may not make sense at first, but they will listen eventually if they're meant to be listening.
Excellent.
Thank you. And I think that's a good way to end the show. I loved the show today. It went
Fantastic.
beautifully. Thank you.
Welcome back.
Okay. Thank you. And I'm happy to be here. I'll see you all next week. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful week. Coincidence or not, it's time to trust your intuition and knowings. Thank you for joining me through this journey of self-discovery and awakening with the help of my spirit guides. I'm Sally Barnard, and you can find my book, artwork, and
contact through artbysallybernard.com. Join us next week. This has been Call Me Zena.